could Gareth Southgate and his England team play a decisive role in who ends up in Downing Street? Well, in 1970, England were knocked out of the World Cup just 4 days before Labour and Harold Wilson were beaten by Edward Heath's Conservative Party. So with the general election taking place 10 days ahead of the Euro 2024 final, could a good run for Southgate's side help Rishi Sunak win on July the 4th? Well, I'm joined now by the sports journalist Ben Jacobs. Ben, welcome to the show. Always a delight. This is a fascinating story. It's based on some actual proper research from Stanford University that shows some interesting stuff. Talk us through it.
Yeah, this was back in 1970 when Edward Heath's Conservatives were tipped to knock Harold Wilson out of Downing Street. And there was a feeling back then that England and football had an influence on the election because England played a quarterfinal against West Germany in 1970 in Mexico. And that was just 4 days before the poll. And they disappointed. And it seemingly created a situation where the mood of the country turned and impacted the election. And interestingly, the same theory was actually there in 1966 when England won the World Cup. The only difference is that one's a myth because there was about 3 weeks difference. There was 31st of March and then there was the 17th of July. So a bigger gap between campaigning, election and 1966 World Cup final. But in 1970, they were so close together that there was genuinely a feeling at that time that football influenced politics.
And Ben, this research shows that the incumbent party gets a 1.6% vote shift uplift if a team does well. Interestingly, July the 4th is the election. July the 5th and the 6th is the quarter final, which England are most likely going to make. There could be something in this.
There could be. As you say, we don't want to jinx England because, first of all, they've got their 3 group games against Serbia, Denmark and Slovenia. But then if they're still playing, you've got buzz, you've got feel-good factor. And that is something that the incumbent would usually be able to dine off. Alternatively, if people are sad, they don't like their football, they don't like their lives, they don't like the fact maybe they forked out money watching the football, travelling, they come back, election comes, they want a change. So logically, an incumbent would get an advantage through inadvertent things, such as a big football event.
Right, we have to leave it there. Ben Jacobs, Rishi Sunak will no doubt be hoping for any driftwood. Can he say it was Southgate what won it?